Hi, I'm Ryan Delavaneri with Image Depot Express. Thank you so much for joining me today. We're going to be talking about discharge additives. Okay, so one big thing I want to point out, we're talking about inks. The only two really type of inks we're printing with are going to be plastisol or water-based. Okay, so that's what you want to remember. There's only plastisol and then there's water-based. To get soft hand plastisol, we're putting an additive into it. So it's a chemical we mix into that ink to make it have a soft hand feel. Okay, you wouldn't do a soft hand additive with plastisol because it's already soft. It's already a water-based ink. Now, when you're talking about discharge, okay, discharge is also an additive. We can put the discharge additive into a plastisol. We can put the discharge additive into a water-based. So let me talk about what discharge additive does. So what a discharge additive does is it's going to remove the dye from your shirt. Okay, so it's very much like bleaching it, only very controlled. Okay, so when we do a discharge additive and we're using it on like an underbase screen or something like that, we're actually going to lay that down. When it gets heated up, it's going to remove the dye from that area of the shirt, and it's just going to leave in its place the pigment for the coloring in your design. Okay, the reason that's important is because it makes it a soft print. So if I put discharge into a plastisol ink, it's not going to be completely soft because I'm printing with plastisol, which sits on top of the fabric, but it's going to be much softer than if I had not done that. If I do discharge in water-based ink, which is how we usually use it, then it's going to produce a super soft feel. Now, why would we want to discharge a water-based ink that's already soft? Okay, we have to understand is water-based ink is a more transparent ink to work with. Okay, so it works great if it's on a light colored shirt, but let's say you want to print on a black shirt or a dark colored shirt. Okay, well, if I lay that water-based ink on your shirt, even if it's white, it's not going to have the opacity to really show off. So I'm going to have to print several layers of that water-based ink in order to get that white to really pop and look nice. Okay, now the problem with that is each one of those layers adds heaviness to the print. Okay, and so it doesn't end up looking as good. Well, not looking good, it doesn't end up feeling as soft as it could. Okay, so let me show you the samples here. Okay, so this is a sample of a water-based discharge print on a black shirt. Now, I know that it's going to be hard to envision this from where you're at, but I literally cannot feel this print right now. It just feels like I'm rubbing the shirt. That is how soft it is. And this hasn't even been washed yet. Once it's washed, it's going to get even softer and be even more of a part of the shirt. Okay, this is a terrific product. It feels really good. Okay, so one of the variables you want to keep in mind here is discharge additive can only be used effectively on 100% cotton. Now, if it's got like 10% polyester, 90% cotton, we can usually work with it. But any more than that, and it doesn't really discharge well. And I'm going to demonstrate that to you here in a minute. But what you really want to take away from this print is that it is super soft. It's a water-based ink with a discharge additive. Okay, so this is not the cheapest way to print. Okay, it's not like it's super expensive or anything, but it's definitely not our most economic option. But I'm going to tell you, in terms of quality, it's going to produce one of the best quality shirts, especially if you're printing on a 100% cotton shirt. This particular one is the Gildan Hammer shirt. It discharges beautifully. That's SKU number H0000. Okay, so let me show you what it looks like if we print it onto a shirt that's not 100% cotton. So this shirt here is a 50-50. Okay, now you gotta kind of discount the fact that this is not going to look as good because it's not on black. So these colors are naturally going to stand off on black better. But if you look closely, okay, I'm going to kind of try to bring this up to you a little bit more. You're going to see a lot of heathering inside this red and this yellow. Like I can see the heathering from the shirt coming through in the print. Okay, it's not as soft. I mean, it's definitely like, it could be much harder. Like if it was straight plastisol, this would be a lot thicker of a print. But I can feel the ink on this. Okay, and so it's not as soft as the product I was just showing you. And the reason is the discharge additive does not work as well on polyester as it does cotton. Okay, so it's going to like in this, it's 50% cotton, 50% polyester. It's going to discharge the cotton that's in the shirt, but it's not going to discharge the polyester, which is why the product is not consistent in terms of tone across this. Okay, so just remember that we can technically discharge blends that just don't come out as well as 100% cotton does. And every blend's gonna be a little bit different, so if you've got a blend that you'd like to work with, let us know. We'll experiment with it if we haven't worked with it in the past. And if we have worked with it in the past, we're gonna be able to tell you, hey, yeah, this will be fine, or no, this won't be fine. We'll at least be able to guide you though, and that's the most important piece, is we wanna guide you to the right place for the design or for the product you're trying to make. So thank you so much for joining us today. Really appreciate it. It's been fun going over this with you. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comment section. But have a great rest of your day. Make it a good one.